for coming today. And would you please call the roll? Okay.
Chairman Rick Johnson,
Here.
Vivian Picard,
Here.
Nicole Cover,
Here.
Donald Bailey,
Here.
Chairman Johnson,
Here.
you have a quorum.
Thank you. Public comment, I just want to quick remind everyone when we get to that at the end of the agenda that keep your comments to 2 minutes and to please not talk about any pending or past or current application. With that, we'll move down to number 4 for approval of the agenda. We need a motion to that effect if there's no changes. Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to approve the agenda before us. Clerk, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Here. Yes.
Yes.
oh, I'm sorry, yes. Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next is approval of our February 21st meeting minutes. As the members had a chance to look at those, I assume.
Motion to approve.
Is there
Support.
moved and supported to approve February 21st of 2019 meeting minutes? Is there any other discussion on those? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, old business. We have a tabled application from our last meeting. We need a motion to bring that off the table.
Motion to untable First Property Holdings LLC.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported to bring First Property Holdings LLC off of the table and in front of the board for discussion and action. Anyone have a wish or a motion on that or anything?
We need a voice vote on that table.
Oh, we do? Okay, we need a voice vote to untable the issue. All in favor?
Untable.
Yeah, we have the motion, we just need to vote on it.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Okay. Number 1, the applicant is First Property Holdings LLC.
I'm just trying to find in my notes the reason for tabling, and then I have.
We got it.
Uploaded it.
At the-
Oh, yeah, yeah.
right at the end, we didn't have time.
So we just had to. Gotcha.
The chairman will move to approve First Property Holdings. Was this for a pre-qualification only?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for pre-qualification status. Is there support?
Support.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Now, new business. I better take a drink of water before I read this. We have in front of us a resolution on some changes in the near future. And I'll read that. The Medical Marijuana Licensing Board resolution on marijuana product access for patients. At a regularly scheduled meeting of the Medical Marijuana Licensing Board convened in Lansing, Michigan, the following resolution was adopted. Whereas the board is established within the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs under the Medical Marijuana Facilities Licensing Act of 2016, PA 281, with the general responsibility to implement the act, and the board's duty include granting or denying each application for state operating license, providing for the levy collection of fines for the violation of the act or rules, and providing oversight of marijuana facilities through the board's inspectors, agents, and auditors for the purpose of conducting investigations into the operation of the marijuana facilities as the board considers necessary and proper to ensure compliance with the act and rules and to protect the overall safety, security, and integrity of the operation of the marijuana facilities. And the board's powers include the authority to investigate alleged violations of the act or rules take appropriate disciplinary action against the licensee, and to take disciplinary action as the board considers appropriate to prevent practices that violate the act or rules, and take any other reasonable or appropriate action to enforce the act or rules. And therefore, it is resolved that the board will not take disciplinary action against any applicant in the following circumstances. For an applicant that's a temporary operating, for the time period ending March 31st, 2019, the applicant temporarily operates a proposed marijuana facility that would otherwise require a license if either of the following apply. One, the applicant's proposed facility is within a municipality that adopted an ordinance before December 15 of 2017, but is pending adoption of an ordinance under the act. Or number two, the applicant's proposed facility is within a municipality that has adopted an ordinance before December 15th of 2017. Or the applicant notifies the department within 1 business day of becoming aware of any adverse action to a marijuana product sold or transferred, and for the purpose of this resolution only, the applicant applied for a license no later than February 15th of 2018. An applicant that does not comply with this resolution shall cease and desist operation and may be subject to penalties and sanctions. And an applicant that is temporarily operating is not guaranteed a license. It is further resolved that the board will not take disciplinary action against a license in the following circumstances. For a licensed provisioning center, for the time period ending March 31, 2019, the licensee obtains marijuana products from a registered primary caregiver, and the licensee obtains patient consent on a form provided by the department prior to selling any marijuana products that have not been tested in full compliance with the law and administrative rules. And the licensee enters all inventory into the statewide monitoring system immediately upon receipt from a caregiver. And the licensee, before any sale or transfer, must verify and confirm with government-issued photo identification with the statewide monitoring system that a patient or a primary caregiver holds a valid registry identification card. And the licensee enters all sales in the statewide monitoring system, and the licensee determines sales will not exceed daily purchasing limits, and the licensee shall notify the department within 1 business day of becoming aware of any adverse reaction to a marijuana product sold or transferred. For the period beginning April 1st, 2019, and until such time as the department publishes an advisory bulletin notifying all licensees that the effect of this resolution has been terminated. The licensee obtains marijuana products only from a licensed grower or a licensed processor, and the licensee obtains patient consent on a form provided by the department prior to selling any marijuana products obtained from a caregiver prior to April 1, 2019, that have not been tested in full compliance with the law and administrative rules. And the licensee enters all inventory into the statewide monitoring system immediately upon receipt. And the licensee, before any sale or transfer, must verify and confirm with government-issued photo identification with the statewide monitoring system that a patient or primary caregiver holds a valid registry identification card. And the licensee enters all sales in the statewide monitoring system, and the licensee determines sales will not exceed daily purchasing limits, and the licensee notifies the department within 1 business day of becoming aware of any adverse reaction to a marijuana product sold or transferred. For a licensed grower or a licensed processor, until such time as the department publishes an advisory bulletin notifying all licensees that the effect of this resolution has been terminated, the licensee obtains marijuana products from caregivers, and the licensee enters all inventory into the statewide monitoring system immediately upon receipt, and the licensee only transfers the marijuana products that have been tested in full compliance with the law and administrative rules, and the licensee tags or packages all inventory that has been identified in the statewide monitoring system, and the licensee transfers marijuana products by means of a secured transporter, except where exempted under the Act, and the licensee notifies the department within 1 business day of becoming aware of any adverse reaction to the marijuana products sold or transferred. I move for the adoption of this resolution. Is there support?
Support.
Second.
Moved and supported to approve the resolution just read. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, in one of the first paragraphs that you read in this resolution, you talked about the board's power. It includes the authority to to protect the overall safety, security, and integrity of the operations of marijuana facilities. I think these temporary operations that we've engaged in for the past almost 2 years have gone a long way to impede that. One of the hallmarks of the 2016 law was the safety aspect of it. And we're going to continue to ignore that with this. It's making the assumption that there's a calamity of patients who can't access products. I don't believe that to be the case. It may be more convenient to go to these provisioning centers for this stuff, but that's not the way the 2008 law was set up. And I think we've created an incredible burden for law enforcement, local prosecutors that are attempting to follow the law. We've already seen cases that have come up that were in violation of the 2008 law, the 2016 law, that have ultimately haven't been pursued through local county prosecutors and the Attorney General's office because of so much confusion that we've created. I think we would have been 6 months further ahead in the process right now had we never allowed these temporary operators. And by allowing the temporary operators, what we allowed them to do was break the law, which was the 2008 law, which was in place. I think we do a great disservice to everybody in the state of Michigan, and I think we do a great disservice to those people that do hold licenses right now.
And anyone else? I think this does go a long ways towards putting things in place with my number one concern being product to the patients, and being able to do this after March 31st, I think will be helpful. Might still be a bit cumbersome, but it's a step in the right direction. I do understand, Don, what you're talking on that issue, and I somewhat believe that as well, but we are where we are, and I think this will move us down the road to where we need to be.
Can we ask Director Brisboe a couple questions? I think I'm not sure. Do we know where we're at with facilities that are fully licensed and that are growing as far as where they're at in their product growing and cultivating?
Yeah, so we have the data in the statewide monitoring system to show where they're at with cultivation. We had a lot of discussions with the industry operators before recommending this resolution to the board, and specifically talked to growers in terms of where they stood with their product availability so that we could make an informed decision as to how to move forward.
And we have a couple of pretty big growers with a number of Class C lots. You know where they're at with their product.
Yes, and like I said, in concert with discussing this with them, that's where we recognized that there was a need for some supplemental inventory in order to make sure there was adequate supply.
Did you get any idea of how long this may be continuing in place, this resolution, based on your conversations with the cultivators?
No, but we're going to continue to monitor where. So now the data in the statewide monitoring system shows us how many sales are being made and how much product is in the process through the supply chain. So that'll give us the good data that we need in order to determine when that regulated supply is keeping up with demand.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, clerk will please call the roll to approve this resolution.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Okay, on to 7B, pre-qualification applications. Number 1 being Medical Greens, Inc. Wishes of the board.
Motion to approve Medical Greens, Inc. for pre-qualification status.
Is there support?
Yes.
Moved and supported to approve applicant Medical Greens, Inc. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Applicant number 2, the Detroit Caregivers Center Association LLC for pre-qualification. Wishes of the board.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that Detroit Caregivers Center Associations be denied an operating license based on 402(3)(a) integrity, moral character, reputation, and personal business probity to operate and maintain a marijuana facility.
Is there support? Hearing no support, and the motion fails, we're back to an open board.
I'll make a motion to discuss so we can hear Mr. Bailey's concerns.
Is there support for that?
Support.
All in favor to discuss applicant number 2, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries, open for discussion.
Mr. Chairman, regarding this application, in looking at the criminal history, it was a pretty significant incident that supplemental applicant BJ was involved in regarding an armed robbery, abduction, and it wound up to be a false police report for an insurance fraud investigation. That's pretty substantial in my mind. There was also, as a temporary operator, sales tax for the year wasn't paid until September. I'm sorry, August sales tax from 2018 were paid in February. I think this is a regulatory issue that is going to be a nightmare for all of us to try to stay on top of. When I say we're not going to be here. But for the department to stay on top of, we need people that are going to do the right things for the right reasons. And I don't see that with this applicant.
Any other discussion?
When we look at the history of, I think some of the things that Don is mentioning, they're pretty old. Like the 95 time frame, which shows that hopefully this individual has improved his or her character.
It would be a juvenile offense in
Exactly.
1995 for this individual.
Mm-hmm.
Any other comment? Okay, we're open for a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll support. Moved and supported to grant Detroit Caregivers Center Association LLC a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Number 3, applicant Mike and Trevor LLC.
I'll make a motion to deny pre-qualification status for Mike and Trevor LLC based on section 402(3)(a), integrity, moral character, reputation. Also 402(3)(a), personal and business probity to operate or maintain a marijuana facility. And in section 402(3)(f) as in Frank, the applicant has been served with a complaint or other notice filed with any public body regarding payment of any tax required under federal, state, or local law that has been delinquent for 1 or more years. There was evidence of this in the record provided by the applicant their failure to demonstrate, or they did demonstrate an inability to operate a marijuana business in a compliant manner. The applicant continued to temporarily operate a marijuana facility after being denied by the municipality and being served with a cease and desist notice by BMR.
Is there support for that? Moved and supported to deny applicant Mike and Trevor LLC a pre-qualification status. Any other discussion? Please call roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Number 4 is applicant Green Sky Research LLC.
Mr. Chair, I move to deny Green Sky Research LLC. Based on Section 4023A, the applicant's integrity, moral character, and reputation. 4023A, personal and business property to operate or maintain a marijuana facility. Section 4023F, the applicant has been served with a complaint or other notice filed with any public body regarding payment of any tax required under federal, state, or local law that has been delinquent for 1 or more years. As evidenced by the following, the records provided by the applicant demonstrate an inability to operate a marijuana business in a compliant manner, and the applicant continued to temporarily operate a marijuana facility after being denied by the municipality and being served with a cease and desist notice by BMR.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported to deny applicant Green Sky Research LLC a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I would note that the ownership on this application is related to another application that was previously denied as well, for other reasons.
Any more discussion? If not, go ahead and call the roll, clerk.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Number 5, the applicant is RSAC Companies LLC. Feelings of the board?
Motion to approve RSAC pre-qualification status.
Is there support for that? I'll support it. Okay, any more discussion on granting RSAC a pre-qualification status? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Next is applicant 6, I guess it's D Meter Group LLC for pre-qualification. Any feelings of the board?
Motion to approve.
Is there support?
1 second.
Been moved and supported to grant applicant the Meter Group LLC a pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no, motion passes.
thanks. Now, 1 second. Okay, applicant number 7, Oak Parma for pre-qualification. Is there a motion in it?
Motion to approve pre-qualification status for Oak Parma.
Second.
Moved and supported to approve Oak Parma for pre-qualification status. I have a question for the staff on this. They're listed as a Class A, B, and C grow. I assume, and I hate to assume anything, that then A, B, and C all have to be at separate locations because you
That's
cannot
correct.
stack those 3 on the same spot.
That's correct. They would have to have separate locations.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Okay. First time I've seen one like that.
yes. We've had one other that was one other class with a C,
Is there-
but they were separate locations.
Okay, thank you. Any more discussion on this one? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll to grant Oak Parma LLC a pre-qualification status.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
thanks you. Number 8, the applicant is Huntington Valley Ventures, Inc. for pre-qualification. Any wishes?
Motion to approve Huntington Valley Ventures
Is there,
pre-qualific,
sorry,
go on, pre-qualification status.
is there support for that?
Second.
Moved and supported to grant Huntington Valley Ventures, Inc. a pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
thank you. Number 9, the applicant is HDS Investments LLC for pre-qualification status. Wishes of the board?
I move that HDS Investments LLC has pre-qualification status for a pending application.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to grant HDS Investments LLC pre-qualification status. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, 1 no, motion passes.
Okay, applicant number 10 for pre-qualification status, Area Capital LLC.
I move that Area Capital LLC has pre-qualification status for a pending application.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to grant Area Capital LLC pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
thank you. Number 11 is, the applicant is NX Meds LLC for pre-qualification status.
I move that
Go on.
NX Meds LLC has pre-qualification status for a pending application.
Support.
Moved and supported to grant applicant NX Meds LLC a pre-qualification status. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
thank you. Applicant number 12 is Michigan Secure Transporter LLC for pre-qualification status.
I move that Michigan Secure Transporter LLC has pre-qualification status for a pending application.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to grant Michigan Secure Transporter LLC a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I note the applicant DC on this application, WDC, there's 2 WCs, has a criminal conviction, was ultimately expunged, but it was pretty disturbing, the facts of that case in my estimation. As well, this same applicant, DC, is employed by a law firm. It's also applying for several licenses. It's also involved with several, other applicants on licenses. And we'll see in some later applications where there's some associations that are very disturbing, some backdoor deals, some backroom deals that are made outside of the licensed that they have submitted through LARA. And as a transporter, having this license is prohibited with the various other licenses that are already possessed and being planned to be applied for. I think there's a real problem with this application.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Applicant 13 is Cook Laboratories, Inc. for a pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Is there support?
Laboratories.
Is there support for that? I'll support it. Yeah. Any more discussion on granting a pre-qualification status to Cook Laboratories, Inc.? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Applicant 14, WGL Industries LLC for pre-qualification status.
I'll note that numbers 14 and 15 are the same supplemental applicants. If you want to take those together, if you have the exact same motion, you could do that.
Anyone wish to make that motion? The chairman will make that motion to approve both. Let me make the numbers right here. 14 and 15, WL Green Ventures and WIT Enterprises for, no, that's not right. WGL and Industries for a pre-qualification status. Is there support? Or no, I support, I'm sorry.
We've got 14 and 15, so it would be WGL Industries and Main Street.
Mainstream.
Products.
Yep, you're right.
You want to just repeat your motion so we're clear?
Okay, the motion is to grant applicant 14 WGL Industries LLC, applicant 15 Main Street Products LLC pre-qualification status. Any discussion, or I need a support first?
I'll support.
It's moved and supported. Open for discussion.
Mr. Chairman, regarding applicant JR, there's a drug delivery conviction just outside of the reporting window, but it still causes me concern. Regarding applicant MY, there's a drug charge, and there's confusion in the report on the ultimately how that was adjudicated. I believe the report says it was dismissed. There's also an assault in 2007. JR has another assault in 2007. And regarding applicant BJ, when regulators were, specifically the state police, were interviewing him regarding the application, apparently the questioning was a little too concerning for the applicant, and he refused to stop, or I'm sorry, he refused to answer the questions. If that's the kind of cooperation we're going to get, that poses a problem, I think, for all of us going forward.
Any more discussion?
And most of the applicants, I mean, there's a tremendous amount of, misdemeanors, felony, et cetera, that are associated with the industry, which showcases they're not following a lot of the rules or regulations of what has already been laid out. I mean, it's a tremendous amount.
They were all disclosed, though, right?
Yes. And they're not old. Many of them are relatively, at least within the last 10 years.
Okay, any more discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll for applicant WGL Industries LLC and applicant Main Street Products LLC for pre-qualification status.
Vivian Picard,
No.
Nicole Cover,
No.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 1 yes, 3 no's. Motion fails.
Okay, we're open for another motion. You didn't like mine.
Motion to deny 14 and 15 based on 4023A and 4023A. Personal and business property to operate or maintain a marijuana facility and responsibility or means to operate or maintain a marijuana facility.
Is there, okay, moved and supported to deny applicant 14 WGL Industries LLC and applicant 50 Main Street Products LLC pre-qualification status.
And may I add 40238, please?
Sure can.
The integrity, moral character, and reputation.
Any more discussion?
I would just like to add for the department too, there are a lot of boards, a lot of license areas under Laura that the integrity and moral character does come into play. And so I do think that going forward, this needs to be looked at and be consistent, because this application, mind you, it met the minimum standards, but with good moral character, I can, obviously I'm a pharmacist, I'm on a different board, but I'm telling you that it does come into play. And I think that when you're just under pre-qualification and you're submitting these applicants with this long of a laundry list, that we as the department have to move forward and consider that this is not good moral character. And I would urge you to continue to do that going forward so that we can be consistent.
And
Okay.
we had integrity, moral character, and reputation added as one of the provisions for denial. We had Mr. Bailey as the second. Did you agree with that change as well?
Yes.
On the motion? Thank you.
Any more discussion on the vote to deny WGL Industries and Main Street Products? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Okay, number 16, the applicant is WL Green Ventures, Inc. for pre-qualification. Wishes of the board?
Motion to approve.
Is there-
Second.
Moved and supported to approve applicant WL Green Ventures, Inc. for pre-qualification status. Is there discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Next is 17, the applicant is Ocean Capital LLC for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve Ocean Capital for pre-qualification status.
Second.
Moved and supported to approve 17 applicant Ocean Capital LLC for a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no, motion passes.
Next is number 18, applicant Cultivation City LLC for pre-qualification status.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to deny Cultivation City LLC pre-qualification status based on section 402(3)F as in Frank. The applicant has been served with a complaint or other notice filed with any public body regarding payment of any tax required under federal, state, or local law that has been delinquent for 1 or more years. There is a pattern or history of failure to satisfy tax obligations when they were due.
Is there support? Support is to deny.
Who supported? I'm sorry.
We haven't.
Support.
Don did. Okay, it's been moved and supported to deny applicant Cultivation City LLC a pre-qualification status. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Next, number 19, applicant Michigan Provisioning Center LLC for pre-qualification status.
I move that Michigan Provisioning Center LLC has pre-qualification status for a pending application.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported to grant Michigan Provisioning Center LLC, isn't it? Yep, a pre-qualification status. Is there any discussion? I just have one question on the name. Because that seems, we have provisioning centers across the state. That's okay, I assume?
I'm not aware of anything that would
Okay.
prohibit it.
That's all I need. Okay, any more discussion at all? Hearing none, please call roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Next is applicant number 20, Legally Rooted LLC for pre-qualification status.
I'll make a motion that Legally Rooted LLC has pre-qualification status for a pending application.
Is there support? I'll support it. Get it on the table for discussion.
I'll take a vote first, right?
No, we need discussion.
Oh, okay.
Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll on granting Legally Rooted LLC pre-qualification.
Vivian Picard,
No.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Next is applicant 21, which is Little Finger Farms LLC for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Is there support?
Second.
Moved and supported to grant pre-qualifications to Little Finger Farms LLC. Any more discussion at all? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Number 22, applicant Parkhurst Services LLC for pre-qualification status.
Mr. Chair, I move to deny Parkhurst Services application because the applicant is not qualified to receive a license or pre-qualification under the Medical Marijuana Act with 4023C. The sources and total amount of the applicant's capitalization to operate and maintain the proposed marijuana facility. The applicant failed to provide adequate records to demonstrate their source of capital.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to deny applicant 22 Parkhurst Services LLC a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Next is applicant 24 Great Lakes Holistics LLC for pre-qualification status.
I believe we skipped one. We should be on
Oh, we did?
23. Giving Tree Labs.
Ain't that, oh, I'm sorry, I looked at that and read the wrong one. I'm sorry. Applicant 23 Giving Tree Labs LLC for pre-qualification.
Motion to approve.
Is there support?
Second.
Moved and supported to grant Giving Tree Labs LLC a pre-qualification status. Is there discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Applicant 24 is Great Lakes Holistic LLC for pre-qualification.
Motion to approve Great Lakes Holistics for pre-qualification status.
Is there support?
Yes. Support.
Moved and supported to grant applicant Great Lakes Holistics LLC a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Number 25, the applicant is Michigan LLC for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Is there support? I'll support it. Motion is to approve applicant Michigan LLC for pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Next is the applicant, I guess you say it Flourish LLC for pre-qualification status. Any wishes of the board?
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, I would move to deny Flourish LLC pre-qualification for a state operating license 4023A personal and business probity. Also 4023A, the integrity, moral character, and reputation of the applicants.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to grant, to deny Flourish LLC a pre-qualification status. Open for discussion.
Mr. Chairman, regarding this application, there are several of the supplemental applicants that have out-of-state marijuana interests, which is fine in and of itself, except there are lawsuits that are currently pending regarding those operations that are out of state. And as it stands right now, it's currently set for trial later this summer. And I think until those issues are resolved, I don't think I can support this application.
Should this be tabled then?
Well, the case is in July, so we're not going to be here.
Never know.
Somebody.
Could I ask for an identification of which of the litigations you're speaking of?
Applicant BK has a current litigation in Nevada. And that might be under a separate one is applicant GP LLC, which is supplemental applicant EJ. And supplemental applicant HP LLC, which is someone else in the group as a supplemental applicant. There were three that are set for a jury trial in July of 2019 regarding their marijuana licenses in the state of Nevada.
Yeah, all of the suits were industry related.
Yes.
Any more discussion? Hearing none,
I believe Highland Partners is the plaintiff. So they're the plaintiff in the lawsuit. They're not the defendant in the lawsuit.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I'm confused. I thought they were initiating.
And they are. They are. They're the initiating.
But aren't they initiating against some of these other, there's three entities that were,
Oh, are they another applicant? I just didn't catch it.
there are three entities that are involved in lawsuits in Nevada.
As plaintiffs. I mean, we don't know what,
Well,
they're plaintiffs.
should say right at the top.
there were a couple where they were defendants, but
Oh,
they were
yeah.
dismissed.
Yeah, they're
those were not
defendants.
related to the. Here, they're a defendant in this one, I guess.
The last two.
Yeah. Judge. Oh, yeah, that's weird.
Mr. Chair, may I remove my motion?
Yes, you may.
Second of supporting the denial.
Yes, you may. Mhm. Anyone else wish to support the motion to deny applicant Flourish a pre-qualification?
Can I ask a question?
Sure can.
So if we just do the pre-qualification, because yes, we don't know the status, and it is kind of funny because there are defendants and plaintiffs depending on, and one they list as both. So, so we would, if we approve pre-qualification, but then something happens, then that would prohibit the actual licensure, correct? So we don't need to sit here and split hairs. Am I
Right.
correct that the department would have that case history at that point?
Well, I wouldn't say it would prohibit licensure. It
Well,
would be
yeah, but
certainly
I'm depending on the
considered.
outcome,
Probably have
but-
the information
Right.
before it comes to fact.
Right.
Because we can't make assumptions at this point, and it is just a pre-qualification. I would be more concerned if it was a total licensure.
And they were all disclosed.
Yeah.
Um,
And we didn't have to go, I was just saying, the other thing is we didn't have to go and ask them. It was all in here.
And we can make a note, obviously, that attention is paid to the outcome of those cases prior to,
Yes, I'm writing that down, and
prior to the approval of the.
Yeah, that would be the
applicant.
department at that point.
Right,
right.
okay.
Okay, the motion is to deny. We need a support. So we don't get a support, then the motion's going to fail for lack of support. Now is there another motion someone wishes to make?
I would make a motion that Flourish LLC has pre-qualification status for a pending application.
Support.
Moved and supported to grant applicant Flourish LLC a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Applicant 27, Dream Farm LLC for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Moved and supported to approve applicant Dream, I guess it is Dream Farm LLC for pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Next is applicant 28. I'm probably going to slaughter this, but it's Galenas, or however. Galenas of Michigan LLC for pre-qualification.
Motion to approve.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to approve applicant 28, Galenas of Michigan for pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Next is applicant 29, Lion Labs LTD for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve Lion Labs LTD pre-qualification status for a pending application.
Is there support? I'll support, go ahead. It's been moved and supported to grant applicant Lion Labs LTD a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Next is applicant 30, Cresco Labs of Michigan LLC for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Is there support?
Second?
Moved and supported to grant Cresco Labs of Michigan LLC pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Next is 31, applicant RJB Enterprises LLC for pre-qualification status.
I believe, Mr. Chairman, I believe we have two together here.
Is there?
Blue Sapphire Enterprises LLC and RJB Enterprises LLC.
There is a,
Different owners.
right,
Different owners.
there's shared ownership, but they do have,
Not all this
Correct.
exactly the same.
Yeah,
correct.
Supplemental was a little different.
right, Blue Sapphire has one additional person beyond.
Okay, so I'm wishing to make a motion on RJB Enterprises.
Motion to approve RJB Enterprises a pending, or pre-qualification for a pending application.
Is there support? Oh, so
Support.
moved and supported to grant RJB Enterprises LLC a pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
No.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
thank you. Next is Blue Sapphire Enterprises for pre-qualification status. Need a motion. I'll move that we grant Blue Sapphire Enterprises LLC a pre-qualification status. Is there support? No support?
I'll second.
Moved and supported to grant applicant Blue Sapphire Enterprises LLC a pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
No.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Okay, next is applicant 33, North Coast Collective LLC for a pre-qualification status. What's the wishes of the board?
Motion to approve?
Is there support?
Second.
Moved and supported to grant applicant North Coast Collective LLC a pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
thank you. Next is applicant 34, Sky Farms LLC for pre-qualification, and is 35 the same?
It is the same supplemental applicant.
So we'll do them both at the same time. Anyone wish to make a motion?
Motion to approve Sky Farms and My Sky LLC.
Second.
Okay, moved and supported to grant applicant Sky Farms LLC and applicant My Sky LLC pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Next is applicant 36, Fairwinds Botanicals, Inc. for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve?
Is there support?
Second.
Moved and supported to grant applicant Fairwinds Botanicals, Inc. pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Next is applicant 37, Michigan's Finest, Inc. for pre-qualification status. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move Michigan's Finest, Inc. Has pre-qualification status for a pending marijuana business license.
Is there support?
Second.
Moved and supported to grant applicant Michigan Finest, Inc. a pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Next is applicant 38, Haya, Inc. for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve?
Is there support?
Second.
Moved and supported to grant applicant Haya, Inc. pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
thank you. Next is applicant 39, Natural Heal, Inc., for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Is there support? I'll support it. Motion is to grant applicant Natural Heal, Inc., pre-qualification status. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, regarding a supplemental applicant, RK, in 2013, there was a regulatory violation regarding cigarettes and tax violations that goes directly to what we're going to be looking at in the regulation of the marijuana industry. And that's a significant problem for me as I review this application.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no, motion passes.
thank you. Applicant number 40, Joint Ventures Michigan, or MI, I'm going to guess we call that LLC, for a pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Is there support?
Second.
Moved and supported to approve granting applicant Joint Ventures MI LLC for pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Next is applicant 41, EPS, I'm going to say I, LLC for pre-qualification status. That could be a 1, depending on. Any wishes of the board here?
Motion to approve.
Motion is to approve. Is there support?
Yes.
Yes. It's been moved and supported to grant applicant EPS I, or that's a 1, LLC for pre-qualification status. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I just have one question for Ms. Jordan from the application section. The loan applicant here, supplemental applicant, is ES. His wife is, I believe, LP. There's a reference in the report on a civil litigation for an EP. My assumption is that that's just a confusion of the different last names.
Yes.
Okay, so that is related to the applicant ES?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
thank you. Now, the next
3.
3 can be done together, is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay, so the applicant is 42, 43, and 44. Healthy Greens Unit 1, LLC, Healthy Greens Unit 6, LLC, and Healthy Greens LLC, all for pre-qualification status. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve Healthy Greens Unit 1, Healthy Greens Unit 6, and Healthy Greens LLC.
Is there support for that? I'll support it.
I'll support it.
Moved and supported to grant applicants Healthy Greens Unit 1, Healthy Greens Unit 6, Healthy Greens LLCs for a pre-qualification status. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, this is an application that has other licenses that I had identified issues with for me personally regarding their personal and business probity, the integral and moral character of the applications. I think they did get through, though, regarding the 13775 Buena Vista.
Yes, they've been pre-qualified
Okay.
under that LLC.
Right. And it's the same information that I relied upon to come to that determination on that application applies for this one as well. And I wouldn't support these applications.
Any more discussion? The motion is to approve applicant 42, 43, and 44, Healthy Greens LLC, Healthy Greens Unit 6, and Healthy Greens Unit 1 for pre-qualification. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Next is applicant 45, Jefferson Green LLC for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve applicant Jefferson Green LLC for pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Next is applicant SJMB Holdings LLC for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve?
Is there support?
Second.
Moved and supported to grant applicant SJMB Holdings LLC a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I have a couple of questions for Ms. Jordan, if I could. The application was filed, according to the board report, on August 14th. Is that correct? August 14th of 2018?
That's what the board report indicates,
Okay.
yes.
And that a bunch of, many of the attestations weren't submitted or signed until January 29th of 2019. That was the date on the attestations. Does that mean back in August and up until January 29th, they had not submitted a complete package? Do we know that?
I haven't received one complete package in this whole application process yet. Not one.
So when we talk about delays in this problem with having complete packages and everybody slowing the process down, one of the chief culprits, clearly, as we see here, is the applicant is causing the issue. Not that anyone's doing anything on purpose, but everybody has a hand in the slow process that's taking place.
It is a constant back and forth.
Okay.
I will say that.
So even though they applied in August, they were still submitting documents that were positively required basically in February of this year. So anybody who wants to complain that we have not done our due diligence and that you have not done your due diligence, there's enough of this blame to go around to everybody. Thank you.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, the motion is to approve SJMB Holdings LLC for pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Next is 47, applicant Options Health Group LLC for pre-qualification.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to deny Options Health Group LLC pre-qualification for a pending application under Section 4023A, applicant's integrity, moral character, and reputation. Also under that same 4023A, personal and business probity to operate or maintain a marijuana facility. And also 4023A, responsibility or means to operate or maintain a marijuana facility. And my motion is to deny.
Okay, is there support for that?
Support.
Motion is to deny applicant Options Health Group LLC pre-qualification status. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Next is applicant 49. No, I'm sorry, applicant 48, Genesis Wellness Center, Inc. for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve Genesis Wellness Center for pre-qualification for a pending application.
Is there support for that?
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve applicant Genesee Wellness Center for pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Next is applicant 49, 1600 Broadway LLC for pre-qualification status.
I believe 49 through 54 are the same supplemental applicant. Is that correct, Chris?
Yep.
Yes.
That's what I notated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, through 54?
49 through 54. So they're all, we've got 1600 Broadway LLC, 314 South Henry LLC, and then 4 of them that start with BRT Capital, numbers 1, 3, 4, and 2.
Okay. So, did everyone hear that?
Can I just make a motion to approve applicants 49 through 54? Or do I need to?
Call them out by name.
You could handle, yes, that would be appropriate.
Okay, is that your motion?
Yep. Pre-qualification status for a pending application for applicants 49 through 54 on the official agenda.
Is there support for that? I will support it.
Discussion?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, regarding this package of applications, the sole supplemental applicant, BT, there are several undisclosed criminal arrests. There's a 2017 civil litigation regarding a regulatory on a broadcast programming where it was in his financial best interest to not follow the rules. And he didn't, and that cost somebody else, but it worked out for him until the civil suit. And that was not resolved. It was filed, the civil litigation was filed in 2017, and it wasn't resolved until January of 2019, certainly likely related to the application for these licenses. That wasn't gonna live hanging over its head. But I think this goes to the personal and business probity of the applicant. It's not a package of applications that I would support.
Any more discussion? Okay, the motion is to approve 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54 for pre-qualification status. Any more discussion on these? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Is to approve?
Yes.
No.
Nicole Cover,
No.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
No.
Chairman Johnson, you have 0 yeses, 4 noes, motion fails.
Okay. Anyone wish to make another motion or a different motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to deny 1600 Broadway LLC 314 South Henry LLC, BRT Capital 1 LLC, BRT Capital 3 LLC, BRT Capital 4 LLC, BRT Capital 2 LLC, pre-qualification status for a marijuana license under section 4023A, personal and business probity to operate and maintain a marijuana facility. Also 4023A, the moral and integrity of the applicant.
Is there support for that?
Support.
Moved and supported to deny applicants 49, I can find my page here,
50.
50, 51, 52, 53, and 54. Is there any more discussion on that? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Applicant 55, Allied Wellness Center for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Is there support?
Second.
Moved and supported to approve pre-qualification for applicant Allied Wellness Center LLC. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no, motion passes.
Okay, applicant 56, Lake Grown Farms LLC for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Is there support for that?
Second.
Been moved and supported to grant applicant Lake Grown Farms LLC pre-qualification status. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Next is applicant 57, Little Tree Processing LLC for a pre-qualification status.
This just had the addition of one supplemental applicant from the previous one.
Correct.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, moved and supported to grant Little Tree Processing LLC pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
thank you. Next is applicant 58, Thorough, oh, tell me how to say that, Nicole, I know you know that. Therapeutic Health Choices LLC, a pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and supported to grant applicant
Therapeutic.
my mouth is just too dry here, folks. Health Choices LLC, a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Next is applicant 59, OP Holdings LLC for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Is there support for that?
Second.
Moved and supported to grant OP Holdings LLC a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
Applicant number 60, Blue 8 LLC for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and supported to grant applicant Blue 8 LLC a pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
No.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Thank you. Next is applicant Green Cole, I guess, Ventures LLC for pre-qualification status. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve Green Co Ventures LLC pending pre-qualification for a pending application.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to grant applicant Green Cole Ventures LLC a pre-qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Next is Black River Heritage LLC, applicant number 62 for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and supported to grant applicant Black River Heritage LLC a pre-qualification status. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Applicant 63, Portage Acquisitions, Inc., for pre-qualification status.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and supported to grant applicant Portage Acquisitions, Inc., pre-qualification status. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes. Oh. Okay, we are moving too fast for technology, so we're going to take a break for a couple of minutes and let the system catch up. And always better to do it by hand.